Well, hello, fellow traveler. Come on in, sit for a spell. We are going to dive into Aries 2026 predictions read. We're going to be looking at the year ahead and checking out what's coming in for you in all areas of life. But much like Pisces that came before you, I got a lot of messages coming in already before we even dive into the cards. So I want to talk to you about this right out the gate. This is for any Aries placement. If you have a prominent placement in the first house, or if you are a Libra rising, which makes you an Aries Descendant. But certainly anybody who feels pulled to tune into the message can do so, because we can all display any of the signs at any given time. But right now, let's get into the thick of it. You really called to have some power words coming in for you. And I pulled those power words with a little bit of bibliomancy from this book here. It's the Pop Vocabulary book, okay? So there could be some kind of connection here. There could be something that is coming through in relation to pop culture with the Aries archetype, let's say, okay? Maybe trying to appeal to pop culture, or somehow pop culture is playing a role in the work that you're going to be doing. Some of you are breaking into areas where it would do you well to sort of open your mind to different perspectives, different walks of life. Have your finger on the pulse of what's going on a pop culture level. Pop culture automatically makes me think social media. It makes me think of stuff going on in the entertainment industry, stuff going on online. So there could be some angle of this coming in for you in relation to your work. But I got 3 words that came in for you. And the first was mindset, okay? So I feel like your mindset is everything when it comes to your success in 2026. There's something about really looking at what's been sort of your habitual fixed mental attitude and how that's affecting your life. Now, a mindset is often informed by our BS, okay? Our belief systems. It's something rooted in our education, certainly our indoctrination through the educational system we all grew up in, but beyond that, it's also your life education, what your experiences have taught you and how that's informed your mental attitudes. And sometimes that can work against us when we're looking at the roots of things, maybe things that we took on from authority figures around us and just in our upbringing, that maybe that's the way it was then, but that doesn't really serve who you are now or who you're becoming or a role you're about to step into. Also, it can be just related to just bias, pure and simple bias. And there's something here about that being a real limitation. Bias is a limitation. There's a need to open up your mind. There's a need to be more flexible in a particular mental attitude or stance. Your mindset can also be habitual, okay? 3:44 on the clock. This is a building block for your future, okay? There might be something you really want to look at here in terms of your habits. Maybe even cultivating some kind of mindset around how you can create more habits that support moving into expansion, that support elevation, that support maybe opening up your mind to areas of life, possibilities, ways of approaching something that you never have before. They're related to our tendencies, okay? Just our tendencies. And there's something about looking at all these areas and getting the mind really fixated on a point that allows you to take up more room, cover more territory, broaden the landscape, and just step into greater potential. But you really have to tackle this from the position of it's a mental game at this point. And there's something going on here that can prove to be a limitation if there can't be more flexibility in mindset here, all right? Also, not to be so influenced by others' mindsets and their opinions and their biases and their tendencies. You don't have to adapt yourself to fit into any kind of mold here, all right? And the second word that came in for you was fester, all right? So something's been festering here. Something's grown rather embittered. Something's been a constant source of irritation, annoyance here, and something around this may have everything to do with your mindset. Maybe your mindset's been too fixated on something that really isn't that consequential, but you're investing too much power in it by focusing on it too much. And if you harness the power of your mind and got it fixated in the right direction, then this wouldn't be such an annoyance for you. It could also be that somebody's trying to play this role in your life. Somebody's trying to be a pest. They're trying to become a festering problem. Maybe they see that you've been developing some new habits. You've been focused in a new way. And you got some individual here that is just trying to pick at you or insert themselves in your space in a rather annoying, irritating sort of way to try to distract you, okay? This is something that you should be aware of, because the third word that came in, my finger landed in between two words, so both words apply. And one of those words was panoply, okay? A panoply is any impressive or magnificent display or something that's related to a group, okay? It's a panoply. So I do feel like there's something that you're trying to pull off here. And to outsiders looking in, it feels like something you're going to be pulling off in 2026 is quite an impressive, magnificent display. There's a lot that went into this. And this could be a group of people that's clued into this. This could be a group of people also that has been a festering problem, that have been creating some irritations that have been distracting you from actually pulling this incredible feat off, okay? So there's just something here that's very impressive that you have the opportunity to pull off in 2026, but there's also the indication that your mindset could get in the way, and if you allow something to fester, it could be a constant source of diversion because of irritation, all right? And I thought it was really interesting, the next piece that came in, because the next word that, you know, my finger fell in between was panjandrum. Now, a panjandrum is a self-important, boastful individual. Now, it could be that some people feel like you hold yourself in this regard. And I mean, when I hear self-important, you know, I think of, first of all, it can come through as like a sort of arrogance, right? But if you don't have any self-importance, like if you're not important to yourself, like how is anybody else going to value you, value your presence, value your time, value your energy? But there's a thin line when it comes to that. Also, when you do pull off something that seems like a magnificent display, okay, something that is impressive, are you not allowed to have a moment where you can, you know, kind of feel good about that because you know what went into it? But to outsiders, okay, because of their natural inclinations, tendencies, biases, they could see it as arrogance, all right? This may be why these people or person or a certain situation is proving to be a constant pestering, festering influence, because they're trying to take you down a few pegs. This could be possible, all right? But I also feel like you are pulling something off here that, you know, could make others envious. And as a result, them viewing you as being too egocentric, too full of yourself. And this could be why you're experiencing this irritation. And then I thought about it just like a little bit a layer deeper, and I thought, well, then instead of focusing on all this stuff that maybe has been acting as a block that's been holding you back from achieving something rather impressive, magnificent, that will be put on display, that might really rile up a particular group of people who don't want to see you pull this off for one reason or another. Does it really matter? No, it doesn't really matter, okay? But there is something here about what if you, instead of focusing on that, just totally geared your entire mindset to be fixated on how you need to show up to pull off this impressive, magnificent feat. You know, what do you need to do? How do you need to show up? How do your habits need to change? How does your attitude need to shift? Because there's something that's taking up too much space in your mental landscape, and it's sort of preventing you from moving into this growth, and yet it's causing you to feel agitated, maybe even bitter at times, because you keep experiencing blockage. But this is really related to how you're looking at something and how you're focusing, harnessing your mental energy. It's sort of like allowing really petty stuff to get you too riled, to get you too fixated, and then it's sort of siphoning your energy. It can be a form of energy harvesting, but it's also something that really limits you, because you need to be putting your energy toward this, whatever you're pulling off here. And there may be even something that you're doing here that will have an influence on pop culture for some of you that are involved in entertainment industries, or you're bringing something really innovative forward in an arena where you have the ability to reach a large audience of people here, okay? So there's something about this, about getting your head in the game. That's how it's coming through, okay? Getting your head in the game, ignoring the irritations, ignoring something that's grown too embittered. The reason why it's grown too embittered is because there's like this feeling of resentment there. Resentment causes an embittered sort of feeling. And the only resentment you really can have is in the ways that you hold yourself back. Because once a situation or a person has shown you what they are, it's up to you how much you invest in that, how much credence you place in that, how much value you put in that. And there's a need to get a little redirect here, so you don't feel like something's festering, like something just needs to be cleared out. You need to clear the slate and be able to look at things from a different perspective. Forget about all that, you know? It's serving its purpose. If you do have like somebody that's trying to irritate you, really get up your ass, so to speak, and get you distracted from the work at hand, they're achieving that if you give it too much, you know, free rent in your consciousness here. So it's like getting all the distractions out of your field of vision, maybe adopting some new habits, getting things restructured here. It looks like there's something new you're doing here. There's something you're about to bring into your field. It's coming in your field, okay? So it seems like some kind of work you're doing, or some kind of territory where you want to take up more space, where you want to expand, okay? Maybe expand your reach or just expand your presence, something along these lines. But in order to pull this off, and I do feel like there is something that's rather impressive about it, you do have the ability to pull it off. But in order to do that, you can't get distracted by maybe even somebody that has taken too much importance in your mind, you know, their opinions, how they see something, how they view something. I do feel like there's a little bit of a mirroring energy going on here too. So this could work both ways. This could be a two-way mirror, and it was 14:14 on the clock when I brought that in. So Temperance energy, strong Sagittarian energy coming in there too. I do think this is your time to be more optimistic. I do think it is a time for you to kind of let stuff go that's just been nagging for too long. Take more of a philosophical view of life. Move into more of a state of optimism. Something's been keeping you in too much of a fixed attitude stance for too long, and it's time to just shake it off so you can get to the good stuff in life, because it looks like there's really big things on deck for you this year, and a lot that could have you feeling like a little puffed up. And you know, I personally don't think there's anything wrong with that, especially if you've worked really hard at something, you've put a lot of time and energy into something, and maybe in order for you to achieve it, you have to overcome what used to be a limitation for you, or used to be some kind of insecurity for you, or it was a bar that you just thought you could never reach. It's like there's nothing wrong with having a moment of celebration. Don't let anybody take that from you either, but don't get annoyed by, you know, what the peanut gallery has to say about it, all right? So that coming in right off the bat, big message. But then it went further. I'm like getting the decks ready for you and everything, and I noticed my dice, and I'm like, wait, there's a die missing here. What die is missing here? And the only dice that was here were the snake eyes. That's what was up here, okay? So I was like, okay, I gotta find where the missing die is. Well, the missing die somehow rolled into one of the old dog kennels here. So something's in the dog house, okay? Something's you know, it could even be behind bars, you know. I found it, and this is the number that was facing up there. We got 3. So again, there could be like communication coming in around this about something that got caught up. Could it be somebody who took a role of too much self-importance in your life? Somebody who's been very boastful, somebody who's been an irritation, somebody who's been causing problems for you. It could be number 3, could be Gemini energy coming in there. Could be something that's been really affecting any kind of work you do that involves communications, or this could be somebody getting caught up for something they were doing around communication. So something they were doing online that crossed certain boundary lines. I got Gemini energy. I got the 3rd month of March. So 3rd month of March, that could be March-born Aries, March-born Pisces. Okay, got the Gemini energy there. But when I pair it, okay, with the snake eyes here, we get 5. All right. So this speaks of some kind of instability coming in here, some kind of change, something that's happening that's shaking up something that may have been a festering situation. Okay, there's a change coming in this situation. You could be getting communication around this. Got like Aries energy real strong here, right? Aries energy coming in really strong here, seeing something, okay? Seeing something, maybe coming in online, getting communication, coming in around this about some change that's happened. The 5th month, okay? May, this could involve a May Taurus or a May Gemini, this energy coming in. It's also got the energy signature of the Hierophant. So this could be like some big corporation, or somebody who's been in a position of power who has abused their authority is getting caught up here. And I don't know why, but when I tapped into this energy too, it made me think a little bit about the sort of beef going on between Pelosi and Trump, because Trump's a Gemini, Pelosi's an Aries, right? And there's also this 2 energy coming together here. That's the High Priestess of stuff that's been happening beneath the surface. So I don't know if there's like a similar kind of beef kind of situation you have in your situation, like somebody's your Trump or somebody's your Pelosi, okay? This could also be something that's going down on a macrocosmic level, like somebody is getting caught up, okay? And communications coming through around this, but it really wanted to introduce itself in your read. And I do feel like if this is something going on a macrocosmic level, I feel like this is something that really will come to a head between February and March, and maybe by May, something is actually going to trial. And that feels like that's really like on a macrocosmic level in relation to what I brought in around Trump and Pelosi, okay? But I also feel that this year, there's something very sequentially taking off for you this year. One step leads to another. It's building blocks in the opener of the year. January, February, March are important, okay? In terms of your future success, in terms of you turning that wheel of fortune, and you got double fives here, double fives coming to 10. Month of October could be significant for moving something forward in an unexpected way, okay? Could also involve an October Libra or an October Scorpio in this mix, okay? But this is something positive. It turns the wheel of fortune, for 2 here, right? So there's something to really pay attention to, laying down the foundation of. Also, you could be a Libra rising. You could be an October Libra. This could be speaking really strongly to you. There's something here about doing things in sequential order and being aware that there's something that you're starting now that will be your harvest in October. Move you forward in a big way, maybe even have you monopolizing a certain sphere of influence or something in your field, okay? This coming in. So pay attention to this because this is important at this time. A lot of change coming in. You could be dealing with a life path 1, a life path 2, life path 3, life path 5, life path 4, life path 10, which breaks down to 1, okay? Life path 1 could come with special gifts, but it also makes me think of your house. The first house of Aries is due for some special gifts to get activated this year. Also, I do see growth in the second house of Taurus. I see something really increasing financially in your field. It is all about knowing the value of your time, your energy, what you bring to the table there. Also, this is a year when you're going to have more opportunity for play, for fun, just to take things a little bit lighter, not so heavy, but a lot of it involves shifting your mindset. So that's where it really begins. I feel like the more you put your energy into your mindset through putting some real solid practices, habits in play, the better off you're going to be. I see growth in the area of communications. I also see healing communications coming in here too, that maybe bridge a gap between two people who are very, strong individuals in their own right. So it's really hard sometimes to get a meeting in the middle here, but I do feel like with communication, it's possible to turn this around, get on the same page, and turn that wheel of fortune in your favor. All right, so that's a lot of energy coming in right off the bat, and I do feel like that's your power move. So we jumped ahead in a reading, and the same thing happened with Pisces. So there could be a Pisces in the mix of your situation. There could be a blind spot in your situation, something you haven't seen, something that's been a sabotaging influence, something that's been working against you. And that doesn't have to be an outside person, okay? It could just be your mindset here and needing to get a different view or open up your perspective or your approach in some way. So that coming in right off the bat is a major theme for you this year. And look at this. Yeah, I do feel like you're getting some news from an official person here coming in. Emperor energy. You may end up being this official person. But I do feel like you're teaming up with somebody here as well. You two bring your energy together. It's like a really potent combination here. There may be something you're launching with another here or investing in with another here. You're making it official, perhaps, okay? Maybe something's being made official, and this is changing the game, okay? I also feel like there could be news coming in from an official person or about an official person, like I brought in with the whole beef between Pelosi and Trump, okay? There could be some news being released around that. So let's get your overarching theme in addition to all that. Oh, but I forgot to mention, when I found the die, what was next to it, but this Monopoly piece, the battleship. So I do feel where there's been an embattled situation, somebody's battleship is being sunk here, okay? There could be a battleship being sunk. We know there's a lot that's been going on the high seas in terms of military operations, all that action. So there could be news of something major around this as well coming in here. Okay. All right, let's dive into it, Aries. Not a dull moment, not a dull moment. Let's get your overarching theme from the Kipper deck. I felt really drawn to this deck for you. I do feel like you want everything to just be straight up. Give it to me straight up. No chaser. You don't want anything ambiguous. You want everything just to be really clear and above board. You've dealt with too many slippery characters, too many tricky situations, especially in relation to some karmic situation that involves a whole community of people, okay? Now, this could be an online community. It could be the community where you live. It could be a community that you're connected to, attached to. It could be online, okay? But there's something here that's too much of a community issue, community problem, and I feel like you kind of want to get beyond that, okay? You're trying to find some kind of solution to a community issue. You may be wanting to form new community as well, or build a community too, okay? Something just came out in relation to that. And it did come out in reverse, and it landed right on top of the Arcane BS deck, as well as this Angels and Imps deck. So I'm going to take the top card from both of these to tie into this. Ooh, this is related to some High Priestess energy. A main female here. Main female here. Could be a dark High Priestess here, doing things hidden behind the scenes. Ooh, whatever this is, you don't have enough spoons for this. You were loyal to this at one point. I see this, but something's, yeah, this is that festering, pestering issue here. There could be a Sagittarius connection here. What do we got coming in here? Six of Wands. Okay, it looks like a battleship is being sunk here in relation to a really old situation. Like, it's been like, you know, just whipping a dead horse, whatever this matter is. It's got like a High Priestess energy coming in around it. There may have been something in relation to this that came to a head during Sagittarius season, so during November, December. There might be something that's really getting wrapped up here with a cantankerous issue, problem. It's going to be cleared up within the year of the fire horse that we have coming in here, okay? I do feel like where somebody stirred the pot, they're having to lick the spoon. They're losing some loyalties here as well. Got the month of February coming in relation to this, so there could be an Aquarius connected to this. There could be a Pisces connected to this. Whatever this is, I do see that you're being protected from whatever was trying to cause some issues for you with the Six of Wands. And you got longevity here. So you can take a licking and keep on ticking. Somebody may have been trying to throw some stuff your way too, just with that 2 energy, High Priestess energy in reverse. If you felt like somebody was putting some bad juju on you, I do think this person's getting a taste of their own medicine, but I feel like you're sinking this person's battleship, whoever this character is here, okay? Interesting energy. It could have been a dynamic duo too. There could have been 2 people that were teamed up here together who were loyal to a certain cause to be a thorn in your side. They wanted to have you waste the sweetness of the bloom too. There could be, you could be a feminine that was targeted here too, okay, by another catty feminine, all right? I could see that. So all of these details could be coming into play. I also see, you know, this horse energy here, you know, it's the one that's coming to a close, all right? So somebody pushed something a little too far, a little too long. They overplayed their hand, okay? Interesting. This is your theme here. This is related to your occupation and you trying to get some traction or moving forward in your occupation. This could be a competitor in your field. Yeah, 33 coming in there. There's the 3 energy. This energy is getting caught up. I feel like this person's starting to feel a little bit concerned. Bring that together. That's 6 energy. The lovers here. Also the choice, okay? Gemini energy. Really strong Gemini energy. So somebody could have been stirring the pot, using their communication, creating blockages for you if you do work online. All right, there could be some foul play there. Certainly with this energy coming in of getting caught up, sinking the battleship. I mean, there could have been some intel going on here. Somebody could have been doing some hacking as well, okay? If you built a community online, they could have hacked into your community, hacked into your website. I mean, this energy coming in. But there is some communication coming in here for a main female. Looks like a high priestess in reverse. Somebody stirred the pot and now it's their opportunity to lick the spoon. Could have been a dynamic duo here. 2 that were loyal to a cause, causing problems for you. Looks like in your career. And you're overcoming this. And these people are getting wind of this and it's causing some concern. There's a choice to be made. You might need to make an executive decision here too about somebody's fate. This energy coming in. And this might give you a little bit of concern as well. You want to make the right judgment call, okay? Weighs heavily on you for some reason. I mean, I see there's great fortune on the line. 8 energy coming in here. Maybe great fortune that should have been received that was tied up in the past. 8 energy, strength energy. You have the strength to overcome this situation. There could be a Leo connected here, crossing energy. Expect to hear this news. All right, this news will be coming in. All right, October. October looks like when a critical choice needs to be made. There's great fortune on the line, and there's probably discussions going on in the family room in relation to this. Also with expectation, there could be something coming through. I could see this too about a child, about a birth. Could be somebody in the family that's been hidden, something that's been concealed for a long time but is coming forward. Could be the result of like a tryst, could be a love child here, all right? This could even be, I don't know why I got this, but this could be like a love child or a child that was had through an affair, and now there's like a desire to get hands on family assets for this love child or this woman who may, I don't know, this could even be a woman who hatched a plot to purposefully get pregnant to get their hands on some family money, okay? There could be some concern in relation to this. I feel like in some way there's family discussions around this. What is the right approach in this situation? There might also be a desire to create some containment around this issue before it becomes a community issue, before it becomes fodder, especially for those in the entertainment industry. That could be where that pop culture influence is coming through, like not wanting something to hit the presses, all right? It's coming in for a reason here. There also could be something going down very publicly in relation to this for some kind of key public figure here too, that for some reason is newsworthy and is wanting to come through here, because that already introduced itself into your read. There could be a fixed sign energy connected to this, because I do see that this is up ahead. It's not here yet, but there will be a critical choice that needs to be made here. Something does need to be brought to completion. There will be success in bringing this to completion. I do see there's some kind of judgment in your favor here. I mean, 6 of Wands on your side, it does show that you're going to be protected from any losses in relation to this. In some cases, this may involve getting a paternity test, okay? I'm just bringing it in because there could be manipulation here with the main female in reverse. Coming in with that High Priestess energy, there could be a secret there. This main female could already have somebody else that they're working here too, you know, or they could be 2 teamed up to work you. And this was sort of something that was planned here. That's not for everybody, but it is coming through for somebody. So I'm going to speak to it here. Could involve any fixed sign energy, right? Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio. Right? You already had some of those energies introduce themselves here. So be careful. You might want to put things in place too in relation to any kind of fortune you've accrued here, or any kind of family money. Or, ooh, because see, I didn't even mean to do that. If you don't, you could lose big. You see what I mean? There's something you need to be aware of here. I do feel like you have success on your side here, but you need to be mindful of a situation that's brewing here and keep your wits about you. Let me do a cut of the deck on this. Yeah. Courthouse here, okay? And it's coming in with the energy signature of 5. I do feel like you'll be victorious in relation to this, but it does involve some lover here. Gemini energy coming in also with the number 15 here. Capricorn energy could be playing a role also. 10th house of Capricorn, something that is visible, something that affects the reputation, something going on publicly. Also tricky, devilish sort of energy here. Okay, so be aware of this, because great fortune is what is at stake here, and you don't want to blow it. Well, that's pretty potent way to kick this off right out the gate. Let's check out what's going on with love, since that wanted to introduce itself. What do I want to use for that? I think we're going to pull out this Gilded Tarot here and see what's going on in the love life. Love can be romantic partners, but it also can be family, people you just feel really close to. Bottom of the deck, there's some strong action you're going to be taking in the fall. I do feel in the fall, the power is back in your hands in a very big way too, as a result of some kind of action you're taking. So October came through pretty strongly for you as a turning of the wheel of fortune month for you. So something big happens in October 2026 for you. You move forward in a big way and you take the field. That's what I see. Okay, there's some kind of victory there, so do be mindful of that. But there is some interesting, it feels like it's an adjacent situation that somehow is connected to you, that does involve somebody getting caught up for something they've been doing out of pocket here. And they feel like you sunk their battleship. I mean, you may have even done this unwittingly. You know, it could just be some action you're taking is foiling their plans. You weren't planning on, you know, targeting anybody specifically. It's just, you know, I feel like if you stay focused on what you're trying to do, any kind of opposition you've been experiencing is going to be taken down. The thing that sort of shoots you in the foot is by getting distracted by this embittered situation. Looks like it involves a community. It could even involve a family, a particular group of people that feel like family. that are trying to distract you with irritation, trying to annoy you. And you're probably just over this, but it's like more of the same will come if you kind of keep your current mindset. You need to develop more mental discipline to focus on what needs your attention at this time, because there's something you're supposed to achieve this year, and you're going to get really distracted by some petty BS if you don't, all right? Let's see, what is coming in love for Aries in 2026? What is coming in love for Aries in 2026? Well, that's a good way to start out. We got Empress energy, bottom of the deck. Okay, so this is like looking good, feeling good. Things are abundant in your life. You're in a good position. You're in a position of strength. You could be connecting with somebody who has strong Libra or Taurus placements. They could also be a Libra or Taurus Venus, this energy coming in. This could also be a mother, okay? A mother could play a significant role as well in the situation. Okay, there could be a mother at the basis of the matter as something that is causing concern. We did see that like family issue come forward, or there could be, like I was saying, there could be a love child in the mix, a child that's being revealed. Somebody could find out that they have like a half sibling they weren't even aware of. Okay, this kind of energy. Bottom of the deck. This could be something that sort of takes you by surprise with the Seven of Swords. I mean, this could be the result of an affair, all right? Crossing energy. And this could in some way affect a Two of Cups. Some true union, desire for healing a connection even. Maybe there's desire to heal a connection after some kind of sneaky stuff went on. Wanting to get beyond some indiscretions in a relationship. Might be finding out about some indiscretions, and it poses a challenge for two here. Because of this, if there was any kind of third party interference, somebody could be feeling really defensive, not wanting to deal with any further complications. There's a lot like blocking energy here. And we do have fire sign energy coming out very strongly in relation to this, your energy, but we also got Leo here and Sagittarius as well. And it looks like there's a desire to move away from something that you've invested a lot in, right? And you don't know if you should invest more in it because you feel like, you know, you're worse for the wear in a situation here. There's something you're contemplating. There hasn't been a clear action taken yet in this situation. Okay, let's get some more details. All right, something just fell away. What's falling away here? You don't see it right now. Landed face down. Oh. What's falling away is the need to have defenses in a situation, but you don't see this yet, okay? You don't see this yet. This is good energy. This is somebody you can build with. This is preserving some kind of harmony in the home. This looks like serious commitment is at the basis of the matter. This also could be a family matter as well, okay? We saw that. Family factors strongly for you this year. So maybe there's been some issues between you and somebody that, you know, they feel like family to you, or you feel really close to this person. This could be a lover, but it could also be, you know, somebody that you're just really close with. It could be a friend you're really close with and you feel like, you know, what's going on? I feel like there's a lot of defensive here. I do feel like there's been sneaky stuff that's gone on in a situation, though, that has created this climate of distrust, right? And I also see, like, there's wondering, should I invest in healing this? Is it worth investing in healing this connection? Not knowing if somebody will be able to let down their defenses. But it looks like that's what's not seen, is maybe the remedy for this situation is the defenses need to come down before something can turn around, okay? And maybe needs to just come up and out. Libra energy coming in here with justice. 44:33 on the clock. Wow. And that is 8 and 6, 14 Sagittarian energy. Like something can be alchemized with that Temperance energy. It's a matter of timing. What do we got here? And it does involve taking a new approach to something. I do see there's an opportunity to invest in a certain direction, but it also requires that, you know, a new approach is learned, and it looks like baby steps. This could be something going on in a friendship. This could be going on in relation to a child too, learning about a child with that page there. This could even be like a former relationship where you share a child with a person, not agreeing and with what's right for the child. Okay, so there's discrepancies here. This could be something going on between you and a sibling, or you and a parent, or you may be the child of this parent, and there's a lot of defensiveness here. It could have something to do with a move as well, you know, not agreeing on a particular situation here, but there's something that needs to be adjusted here. There needs to be a new approach. And I do feel like there's a new learning cycle coming in here. Whatever's coming in here will bring balance. It will balance this out. Good energy coming in around Libra here. So if you're Libra rising, I do feel like there is a way to invest in something, but it's like baby steps here. In cases of romantic situations, I feel like there might be a need to forge more of a strong basis of friendship before you even get into healing anything on a romantic level. Start small. That's what I keep hearing. Start small. You can't like pick up where you left off. That's what I feel. There's a need, whatever the connection is, whether it's a friend, whether it's a romantic partner or a family member. There's a need to like clear the air, bring down the defenses, and take a new action, learn a new way to move forward. I don't feel like you'll really get to the potential of what this is in matters of love until the fall, until October, okay? And then you'll really see a new way forward. The world will turn at that point, and there's something that's transformed in relation to love. But first, there's a lot of defenses that need to come down in this situation. And I do feel like it has a lot to do with somebody feels like they've just dealt with one thing after another. They've been fending off one thing after another. There's been too much sneaky stuff. There's been too much sneak dissing, I'm hearing too. Like somebody kind of putting somebody down, but like on the sly. There's been just too much that's gone down in a situation where it's like, you know what? This does not feel right to me. So somebody has their guard up justifiably, but in order for the guards to come down and to be able to work through something and to see a new way forward, there has to be like going back to the beginning here. Going back to the beginning. You can't like pick up where you left off and just like press restart on something. It's like a brand new foundation needs to be laid. But I do see there's a powerful way to move something forward. It comes in the fall. It feels like October is a big month in relation to this. Cut of the deck. What do we got here? Until then, something's on hold. We got Piscean energy here. This could be related to a blind spot, something that needs to shift in the mindset to become more aware of something, okay? And again, do you see? There needs to be a new way to move something forward coming in with this Knight of Pentacles here. But we do see progression in the energy. You start small, and then there's progression. But before there can be progression too, there needs to be investing in the opportunity in a new way. You got to plant the seed for it to grow. Just because an opportunity comes your way doesn't mean that it'll become anything if you don't invest time, energy in this. And all I know is the mindset needs to change with whatever this is. You need to get a different view of something here. You know, it's a new learning cycle in terms of love here. And there's a waiting period here. There's delays. There's delays, and mainly the delays are coming from not investing in something. Like you have to plant a seed. What's behind this? You see what I'm saying though? There's been betrayal here, and because of the betrayal, that's why there's hesitancy. But I do feel like justice will come through in this situation. Libra energy. All right. Obviously, something sneaky's gone on here. You know, there's been something that wasn't quite right. It does look like the Libra energy is coming through very solid in relation to this. We've got some Pisces energy here, where there's kind of like holdups, delays. We got fire sign energy in the mix that's also kind of hanging out at the crossroads. I mean, certainly that's your energy, Aries, but it's also Leo and Sagittarius. I wanted to say Aquarius for a moment here, so there could be a Leo rising in the mix of this situation, all right? That's what we got in terms of love. Let's stick with this deck for money. I do like that something can be turned around. I just feel like there's delays. There's holdups. What's causing the holdups? Defensiveness. Defensiveness. Because somebody feels like after everything that's gone down in a situation, they can just like kind of press restart and pick up where they left off. And it's like, that's not possible. And it looks like there's a lot of stuff that needs to be sorted through, and somebody needs to get a different view in this situation now. Is it you? I mean, I know you need to stop focusing on stuff that's been a habitual source of distraction. That's come through really strongly for you. But it could be, you know, somebody else needs to shift their mindset around you. I mean, the Piscean energy is the one that's coming through as the Hangman. So it could be there's a Pisces connected to your situation that is holding things up because they don't have the right view about a situation. This could even be somebody you had a falling out with, okay? So, looks like there's stuff to sort through in terms of love, but it looks like things turn around, okay? Things turn around for 2 in October. I feel like there's some transformational action that's taken at that time. And it transforms love and how you see your future and moving forward, okay? But in the meantime, there's a need to walk away from an old stuck point, an old view, an old battle. Something's done, something's dusted. You know, that war was already won, and so it's kind of like not gloating about the victory, okay? I can see that energy. Don't gloat about the victory. But also don't stay stuck in that embattled place. Don't continue to whip a dead horse. It's like once you've made your point, make your point, let it go, you know? No need to flog anybody. Nobody's your whipping boy. And you don't want anybody doing the same to you, okay? So this energy coming through, all right? What's coming in money? What's coming in money for Aries? What's coming in money for Aries in 2026? What is coming in money for Aries in 2026? What is coming in money for Aries in 2026? Well, it looks like something you're building with another. So there could be some kind of business partnership here. Maybe that's who you have falling out with. Maybe there's somebody that you want to partner with. Maybe you used to be romantically involved with this person. You don't know if it's a good idea to mix business and pleasure with this person. Okay, some different themes coming out. I am speaking to a lot of different Aries out there. So I always speak to the different messages that come through. This could just be like somebody you were working on a project with. It was like real good synergy. Then something happened. There was a falling out. It's like, dude, you're out of the band. Everything went south, you know, and now you're in a position where you have to, like, you know, figure out, do I partner with somebody on something here? And there's the Empress energy again, okay, in terms of the money. I mean, I feel like there's an opportunity for something to really grow here, but it does require a complete change in perspective here. Look, the Gemini energy coming through again. with the Lovers. There might be some communication that needs to be issued here. And this communication like wakes people up, all right? You could have some message that you have to deliver. You may be involved in the field of communication. You might have something you need to bring forward that's innovative, that's different. You may have been watering yourself down. You may have been holding yourself back. Or you may have been doing the same old thing for so long. It's like, no, think bigger, you know? Think more outside the box. Do that thing that feels like a little bit like you're pushing the edge, and then go over it. And there's something there that really like takes down the old structure, but it leads to this, okay? It leads to growth. It leads to abundance. It leads to the Empress energy here, okay? It could be, you know, that there was like some kind of partnership here that got dissolved. This is an interesting message coming through. It could be that there was a partnership that was dissolved, but as a result of this partnership being dissolved, there's now a different way to partner with somebody, okay, that you wouldn't have partnered with them on that level before. This could be like somebody who used to be your lover, you had a falling out, the relationship ended, but now maybe you're coming together in a new way to work on something together, to work on a business project together or some kind of creative project together. And you'll be shocked, like the result of it. It'll blow your mind. Like you didn't realize that this is why you two came together in the first place, okay? So it might be seeing somebody in a brand new way. There could be a Gemini connection in relation to that. There could be Scorpio connection, Aquarius connection. Your energy is coming through very strongly here. Libra, Taurus, okay, these are all people who could be characters involved in this situation. But I do feel like whatever risks you take, if you stop playing it so safe or sort of just sticking with what you've been doing, even though to me, this almost feels like in regard to money matters and what you do to earn your bread, like something's been feeling like a little too safe. Like you need to push the envelope a little bit more. Maybe you feel like you already pushed the envelope, but you know you're holding back, right? And there's something here about you've been holding back, maybe because you're worried about it creating some kind of disruption. No, you need to take that risk because that's what's going to be like the breakthrough moment here. And you may be breaking into the field of communication. You may be doing something that's really outside the box in the field of communications, in the field of tech. Okay. If you take the risk, all right, I feel like it leads to big growth here. So you can't play it safe. You gotta gamble a little bit here. And I don't mean go play the slot machines, okay? I mean, you could get like a little win from that, just for that to come in. But this is about really like trusting your intuition, trusting what just like feels right to you, you know? What feels right to you. It's really interesting. First, I feel like there is something you need to look at here, though. It's a South Node matter, okay? And it's in relation to a particular connection. We got the Piscean energy coming out in relation to this, okay? We got Virgo energy here, too. Speaking the South Node to North Node, though, right? So there's something here you need to see that needs to be transformed. And with the Virgo energy, it does make me think like your work, your daily habits, your routine, your mindset around these things needs to shift. And when you do this, I also feel like it brings those right and left hemispheres of the brain together, where then you merge like your wisdom, your knowledge in a certain arena, in a certain field, with the creativity, okay? And it's a beautiful merger that helps you transcend previous issues that have been holding you back in your career. I do feel like it's unknown territory for you. It's a bit of an initiatory process. You may feel like a little nervous about taking this gamble because it is something that is more creatively oriented here. This might even be like reviving something that was an inspiration in the past that kind of got sidelined here. Maybe because of some kind of imbalance that was created between you and somebody you were supposed to partner with on this. But, you know, whether it's you teaming up with somebody, you know, that seems like an unlikely pairing. Could be initially you were going to team up with one business partner on this, and then that didn't work out. And you may be teaming up with somebody that you wouldn't expect to team up with. And this is what pays off here, okay? It rises you above previous challenges and what created imbalance from having like your ships come in. You had a certain goal you had in mind, something fell flat. It feels like because of a falling out that occurred in some kind of partnership here. But I think you got to trust your instincts on this. Like, this is an independent energy too. So go your own way here with this. I think you have everything you need to make this happen, but you do have to follow your inspiration here with the King of Cups energy, right? Maybe that is your clue. Maybe you were trying to partner with somebody on something and you should go your own way, or you need a different partner for this. You might, I can see how both options could apply. I think initially you take the risk on your own though. There's something you need to initiate here in true Aries fashion. And then who you end up partnering with on something could even be a one-off. It really takes off. It might come as a surprise because it's not who you would have initially gone with here. It could be something about you used to be romantically involved with this person, or this person used to be a lover, okay? Or there's something that could grow beyond just a business partnership too. I can see it as that as well, okay? Once you start working with each other, especially if it's on a creative project, there could be like a little musing energy there. Whatever this is, I mean, I do feel like you're teaming up with somebody on this, and I feel like it's a big win for both of you. There might be some event around this. You ace out the competition. I see that. But see, it's interesting. First, you start out on your own. This is that 9 energy. You already got an idea, okay? So you need to initiate it here. Yep, you certainly do. With the Knight of Swords coming in with that Ace of Wands, this will really pay off for you, okay? Like I was saying, you're going to see big increase monetarily. That's when your Wheel of Fortune really turns in October, okay? In October. But I do feel like there was some kind of falling out in something you were partnering with another on before. And you might be changing partners down the road. But whatever this is, you're starting something off alone, right? Get momentum. Get momentum for yourself. And then there's something you might do. It might be more of like a one-off thing where you partner with somebody you never worked with before, okay? And you do a one-off, and it's like it gets a lot of exposure. It could even be an event you're doing with somebody, something like this, okay? And it gets a lot of exposure, and it's a big level up for both of you, okay? But I feel like initially you're doing something on your own. That's how it's coming through. Okay. I like this. Let's stick with this deck. I'm digging this deck right now. What's coming in for Aries health? What's coming in for Aries health in 2026? What's health looking like for Aries in 2026? What is Aries health looking like in 2026? Give us a clear view about Aries health. Well, we know you need to get your head in the game. So mental health is all about your focus. And, you know, not allowing all tabs to be open because of some distractionary BS being stirred up by some festering situation that involves a community of people or somebody who thinks you're too big for your britches and they want to take you down a few pegs. I don't know. It's interesting to me because I feel like whatever you need to step into here, it may be a real competitive field. So you do need to have confidence, okay? And maybe outsiders don't understand that, but you know, I do think there's a little mirroring energy too, like what makes these antagonists' opinions so important. I mean, that's like, it's a little self-importance right there. Them thinking that they should have some sway over, you know, how you choose to show up in the world or what you choose to do. It's like pretty freaking ridiculous. So I would say right off the bat, you got a lot of stress that's affecting your health. It's coming from just dealing with some annoying people that you shouldn't give so much access to your time and energy. I mean, I think that right there is good stress management coming through to preserve your health. You know, focus on what matters and put your focus, your energy into people who lift you up, you know, situations that feel supportive, not things that like tear you down and make you feel like crap. Like, it's kind of a no-brainer there. All right, let's see what's going on for your health. Oh, I like this. Well, whatever you're setting in motion here, it looks like you're getting rid of some old habits, you know, stuff that has been draining your energy, draining your vitality. You may have been feeling a little weak lately too. Like you might feel like you just don't have endurance like you used to have, or you don't feel as strong as you used to have, or maybe your immune system feels more compromised. I do feel like you need to get away from the screen a bit, get more time outdoors, get out in the sun. You might be dealing with a little seasonal affective disorder, just needing more natural light to come in, okay? There's something about opening up the curtains, letting natural light in as well. You might need to get some real good fats into, mono unsaturated fats, sunflower seeds, sun butter coming in pretty strongly. In relation to that, might want to bring in some nuts, some seeds, something about that. Get them raw, you know, it could be really good for you, nourishing for you. I also feel like this is returning to more lightness, more levity, you know, also getting back to the start, getting back to the basics of something, going back to the beginning, making something less complicated, making things more simplistic will be good for you. And you'll find that as you start lightening up a little bit, letting stuff go, being mindful of who you're focusing your attention on here, and as you let go of the heaviness of the old cycle, you'll find that your vigor is going to return. You're going to feel a lot better. I do feel like you're going to be taking a new approach with your health that's going to kind of like clear out the brain fog, give you more energy. I also feel like there's a lot of internal healing work you're doing here. You're just letting go of all of that shadow stuff, all of the subconscious self-sabotaging behaviors too, that's really allowing you to just feel a renewal of energy. So this new health approach will be very successful. I think you'll really see that in the summer. Okay, really looking good, feeling good, maybe even looking like younger at that time too, just because your energy is really coming back. Okay, dropping the heaviness, releasing the heaviness. Okay, you may be dropping some weight too, changing your body composition, doing some strength training, you know, getting the cardio in. I feel like you got your horsepower back, so that looks really good. And I think it'll be just in time for summer too, for you to go out and have some fun in the sun. So do look at a big glow up energy coming in the summertime. Also, I feel like there's some kind of success that you're experiencing at that time too, where maybe you've gotten enough momentum where you can actually go out and have some fun. Oh, I love this. So if you are trying to get in shape, if you're trying to drop some weight, I see you being very successful with that, but it's by using a more moderate approach, okay? Not being so rigid will be very successful for you. And being honest with yourself about where you do sabotage yourself, where you do need to trim the fat, where you do need to change some habits. And I feel like you'll do very well for yourself with that. So I do see you balancing your weight, or I rather like to look at it as body composition. Okay, so I do feel like you're finding the right balance with your health challenges here. And a lot of it does involve getting more of the like balance between pleasure and work in place. You need to make sure that, you know, you're making a little time for fun. And I also feel like there's something about doing the work too. Like the results are not just going to come to you. There is a need to do the work in order to get things to balance out here. But I feel like a lot of the balance needs to come in relation to how you work, so you're not getting burned out here. You need more balance, okay? More balance in your schedule, balance all around, and think more of a moderate approach rather than an all or nothing approach. I know, tell it to an Aries, it's very hard for Aries to not be all or nothing. They're either all in or all out, but you got to find the middle way here. That's what's going to really be successful for you. And then I think you'll see steady progress with that, okay? I also think with this energy of having kind of a glow up, I think this will be really good for your work too, right? So your work may involve you having some kind of visibility, and you know, your appearance is your initial calling card too. So I do see there's something you're transforming here. This coming in for a few people here. I don't think it's for everybody, but somebody may be getting some work done. Somebody may be wanting to get some work done. They think that it'll give them like more visibility. Maybe they feel like that's the only thing holding them back. Somebody may be going for a consult for some kind of cosmetic procedure. That's what I see in relation to this. Somebody may be considering that, okay? This may be in direct relation to getting some communication coming in about an opportunity. An opportunity may be an opportunity at a distance. You may need to travel, okay, to go and meet with somebody. Meet with somebody in relation, like signing a contract or something, okay? And it could be moving into some kind of competitive field here. So somebody might feel like, you know, they want to get a little work done so they can edge out the competition, maintain their spot. It's interesting. It could also be the changes that you're making cosmetically. It doesn't have to be in relation to going under the knife, okay? Not necessarily getting a cosmetic procedure done, but it could be that changes you're making cosmetically are due to you feeling like it can get you more traction in relation to some kind of competitive opportunity. And again, it's going back to that initial intention of you wanting to take the field or edge out competition here. And I hear Ted's wanting in, so hold up a minute. Let me let Ted in here. Come on in. Hey. Yeah, I mean, maybe you're wanting to find your way into a room. Maybe you feel like that's the only thing that's holding you back. Is there, you know, you might feel that that's the one thing that you need to work on a bit, is maybe refining your image or something. Okay. I also feel that there's some opportunity coming your way, and it does give you the ability to take up more territory, step up a level in terms of your success. But in order for you to keep your health in a good place where you can really manage this and also be able to really excel in this direction, you need to maintain a balance. And this may require you to have better boundaries. You can't just let people have access to your time, energy all the time. You have to know when you need to mark out time for yourself, when to turn the ringer silent, when to not be available to people. You may be ready to take some kind of risk too on something you're developing here, and it does require you to have a real balance between work and rest. So it's interesting. A lot of your health stuff is coming around stress management. Some of you may be considering a surgical procedure to deal with some kind of health issue that you've been grappling with. You might have been trying to hold off on this. You might be getting encouragement from a medical professional to schedule the procedure. You might be trying a more holistic approach with this. Let me see how that's going. For those that applies to, will that be successful for them? I don't know. No. I think you might really want to take this seriously. With the Hierophant in reverse to the King of Cups in reverse to your energy, the Emperor in reverse. No, I would be really leery about continuing to try to apply a holistic approach to something that a medical professional is really urging you to just schedule the operation. I think it's sort of like, it's time. Okay, it's time. It's like, if you continue to apply the current approach to that situation, it's going to remain imbalanced. And I do feel like there's something about there being more issues, and it could be in relation to spinal health or something going on with the nerves. It could be like disc compression. Okay, that's not coming in for everybody, but this is in relation to somebody who's dealing with a really painful condition. It seems like it's affecting your spine. You might have been trying chiropractic or something, and there's something there. It could be like a bulging disc or, you know, some kind of issue that it can't be resolved through chiropractic. Right? That's just coming through. All right. So balance things out, man. Balance things out. All right. Let's see what your big successes and wins are going to be in 2026, Aries. We're not going to look at your power move because we opened up with your power move. We already know what you need to do here, what your power move is. But let's see what your big successes and wins are going to be in 2026. What are your big successes and wins in 2026, Aries? Big successes and wins for Aries in 2026. Keeping a lid on something you're brewing, okay? You need to make sure that you're keeping something to yourself, all right? This is something you're developing here. Something you have an intuitive hunch about. And it's in relation to some kind of risk you want to take in a particular direction with the work that you do. And there might be a more creative angle to it. And you need to protect this, okay? You do. You need to protect this because I do feel like there's people that are trying to get access to whatever this is, or will try to pick your brain, who want to hop on the bandwagon with this, and they didn't do any of the work. Okay, so there's something that you need to kind of keep to yourself here. Yeah, this is concealed right now. Ace of Cups. All right, this is something that you're brewing quietly here, and it's something just for you. Like, this is something that pours into you, that fulfills you, that fills you up. This is your creativity. This is something you're developing here. You'll see this start to come in summer, okay? So that might be, I mean, that syncs up. That syncs up with the time where you might have more visibility, where you're having a glow up here. So yeah, protect this. It's key for this big success, for this win that you're going to have. It's a personal success here. And like I said, while I feel like you might partner with somebody down the road, first, this is about developing your own thing here, okay? Really cultivating your own lane. There's some kind of success coming in here in this summertime. You don't see this coming yet, but it's also because you need to invest in this direction. You haven't invested in this yet. It's something you've just been considering, okay? It's an idea you have. But you put that in motion, and look at that. The road opens for you. Once you take the action, the road opens for you, and those ships come in. You do see the success as a result of investing in this creative, inspired vision you have. You just need to keep it under wraps because other people would like to get their hands on this. And it does involve you taking some kind of independent action here, and that's what opens your road, all right? Whatever this is, it'll have a far reach, and it will be successful, all right? Let's get some more details about big successes and wins for Aries in 2026. It'll have you looking at your future and what's possible a lot differently. It's sort of like getting out of the kiddie pool and getting into like the big sea. That's what I got. Like there's something here that really changes the scope of your reach or your scope of possibility. May involve travel, may involve relocation, may involve opportunities from afar. Okay, yeah. Travel could very much link up with this. There's a lot of communication coming in around this swift progress. I think August will be go time with this. And something here really hits the mark. And for those of you who are in some kind of entertainment field or something that does put you in line for some kind of visibility, I do see that there's a lot of rapid progress coming in there. It feels like it comes in August after something was delayed, okay? So it's not here yet. It's not here yet, but it will come in. And this energy comes in relation to this too. See, there's something you have to cut off here. There's some kind of truth you're coming into alignment with. Something comes to an end. I think this is what comes to an end. Okay, the time of inactivity, contemplating something, knowing what should be cut off and what comes forward with you as well. But there is some kind of closure here to a karmic cycle that's been really painful, that is finally coming to a close. And where you did have questions, I feel like you're getting the truth that you needed, right? And that's setting you free. And then you're making some kind of investment here, business investment, and there's huge growth in your resources. I think you see a lot of progress here. There could also be business partnership with somebody that finally comes in here as well, or an offer that comes in here that you're considering. Should I invest in this? If you do, you'll experience a lot of growth in visibility, growth in finances. And I think this looks good on you too. Like this is something that's tailor-made just for you. So this is good. After a time of being held up, whatever was holding you up, whatever that blind spot was, you finally see through it. You get the truth you need to cut yourself free here, get out of maybe even some kind of compromising arrangement, better offers put on the table, or you're partnering with somebody different here. Whatever this is, it's like real steady progress. And I feel like it kicks off in August and it grows. It grows through October. That's when this really comes to its full fruition. So that's a very positive energy and definitely increases your assets. But I feel like you got a little bargaining power here too, because somebody really does see your value. They really see your worth here. They're ready to invest. This could be an investor coming in too. Okay, so big success there. That looks good. What else do I want to bring in here? Let's do unexpected with the Arcane BS deck, just for shits and giggles, okay? Unexpected coming in for Aries. You could be be dealing with some catfish energy online, some fake accounts. People are trying to get a view into what you're up to here, trying to get close to you because they feel like you already got the worm here. You already got the worm. You're a little too secure in your position here. And so there's people that are going to be coming around you here. Somebody you've been talking to online may not be who you think they are, okay? Catfish energy coming through here. Somebody's wearing a mask. It's because they feel like you're a little too secure in your position right now. What are you up to? There's something you're brewing here, Aries. What are you up to? Somebody wants to know. So do be aware of that, okay? Be aware of what you're sharing online. People are paying attention. They want a slice of that pie. They want a slice of that pie. You already dealt with this character here. You already saw through some kind of deception here. And this is something you might have been sensing around that Sagittarius new moon that came in December there. You might have sensed something. You might have even taken some kind of action to cut off a particular cycle that you did not want to rebeat here. Well, beating the dead horse. Maybe that's how it's coming through. I mean, we do have Sagittarian energy coming through here with the owl. Sagittarius is the owl on the medicine wheel. There could be a connection there. There could be something that was just taking you too much out of a feeling of expansion. You felt like something just felt too convoluted. It bared too much resemblance to something you'd been through over and over and over again. I think you were done digesting something. You cut something off here, and that was the right action to take. But there could be somebody hanging out here that's cloaked, all right? With owl medicine, it's magic too. So this could be a little wizard who wants to get their hands on that formula you've been whipping up in the lab late into the night. Oh, maybe you've been working with a Sagittarius on this. That could be coming through too. A wizard and apprentice up in the lab all night, working on a secret formula. Oh, okay, so you could be partnering. You could be partnering with a Sagittarius, but there's some cycle that needs to come to a close. Something that's been causing like a repeat pattern in a situation. This could be that situation where you're working with somebody on a different level than you worked with them before. Maybe your connection is taking on a new kind of tone. All right, this might be quite unexpected. It might be unexpected that a destructive influence in a connection is being transmuted here. Oh, wow. Okay, it could be something could have gotten cut off in a situation, a source of complication that's really changing things here. Somebody burnt a bridge because they recognized that there wasn't going to be any progress there. So it feels like something that was creating some repeat loop pattern in a particular connection is being cut off here. Woo! Somebody is burning a bridge with big sexy Satan so they can experience a rise in power. Capricorn energy coming in there. And it could be an unexpected partnering too. You're partnering with something unexpected. You're partnering with something unexpected. Interesting. Partnering with something unexpected. That makes it seem like more like an entity than just an individual. Yeah, you might be partnering with something instead of somebody. This might be something industry related. I don't know why there's so much of this in your read, but there is, okay? Or you could have been dealing with a crafty character here and you're partnering with something, an entity. Could be a guide or some force from the other side that's allowing you to turn this around, especially if you feel like somebody was throwing some manipulation your way, causing blockages on the path. You might have trusted your instincts in relation to this, doing a little warding work so you can hold your spot. You identified a particular snake in the grass, and it don't matter if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. You weren't going to get taken in and be a sitting duck with this energy here. And you weren't going to F a duck either, okay? There could be a Scorpio connection here, all right? Your energy is coming through really strong about being finished with something. And you're trusting your instincts in this new beginning, whatever you're getting ready to act on here. Something you're getting ready to act on here. You're not following any copy-paste formula with this, all right? It looks like so much is just coming in around protecting your ideas because they're an unexpected source of success for you. But you got some people around you. You may think they're away. They're away, they're gone, they're out of the storyline. They're not. You got some catfish around you. And it has everything to do with trying to create delays around this new beginning you have, because there's something you already transmuted here. You have knowledge of a situation, and you do hold a new beginning in your hand. There's something you're about to give birth to here, but we got that indication about somebody trying to get things hung up. And it could be a Pisces. We had the Hangman come in quite frequently here. So that might surprise you. There could be a hidden enemy that's exposed. It's unexpected who's been causing holdups and delays for you. Okay, somebody's being unmasked, but a karmic cycle is finally being broken. Maybe you thought it would never end. Okay, whatever this situation is that you've been dealing with the community, something comes to a close this year. Something finally completes, and it was 1:31:39 on the clock when that came in. So yeah, may come to a close officially at Halloween, man. Something comes to a close. You don't see it yet. It's coming through like this. There's something you already set in motion here. You released something. You released something because you knew it was casting a shadow. It was casting a shadow over your storyline here. It may be around a story. If there was something you were planning on writing, it's got like book energy here. Or just opening an important chapter in your life. And the more you tried to progress in a certain direction, the more you felt like time was slipping away, the more you felt like you were moving through quicksand here. But you are taking some kind of action. I feel like it's almost happening more on a quantum level, more on a manifestation level. This could be like you getting your mind in the right place. Like you could have like set something in motion on the ether. You could have been doing some workings to transmute some energy. And you may be surprised what opens up as a result of that. I feel like there's something that you sent through here, something you released that you recognize was sort of like cloaking your energy or creating blockages for you on your path. And you might not have seen the instant results of that, but you'll be surprised. Unexpectedly, the reverberations of this are coming back. I do feel like it's creating like a little bit of a road opener situation for you. And there is something that you released here where it was hard for you to release it. Maybe because you had to go on a hunch. You just had to go on intuition. You may have been uncertain if that was the correct action because it created some kind of implosion in your life. Obviously, something destructive went down here. There was a burned bridge. There was something that was really explosive. There was something that involved a community. You might be so surprised how necessary that was. What's unexpected is that was the basis of what is now going to become like your tree of life. Like there's something that really grows out of a result of whatever this is. It's like almost like a butterfly effect though. This is like the reverberations coming back and opening a new chapter for you in the most unexpected way as a result of what went down there. So there's something that really works in your favor, and it could have even been a group of catfish or a group of people. Somebody was messing with you online. Somebody misrepresented themselves. It caused a lot of problems, or something went down, you know, with somebody wearing a false face around you. And it caused some big explosive event. Something got really messy or problematic. But what's going to be unexpected is that that's what makes everything possible for you now. It's like it works out in your favor, and you recognize that if that wouldn't have happened, you would have never been able to like blow up like this. That's what it's coming through as. Like a blowout turns into a blow up for you. Like something blows up, some secret sauce, some formula you're working on here. Or maybe it allows you to kind of cut ties with somebody who would have only held you back, right? And it allows you to partner with somebody unlikely, but you partnering with this person because you had a falling out with that person over there, it allows something to really blow up. That's what this unexpected development is. Ooh, that's really interesting. Okay, let's stick with this deck for a minute. What's the good fortune coming in here for Aries in 2026? It looks like so much is coming in around like your success and your work and your finances. And it looks like overcoming some opposition too. But let's see what else comes in here. I mean, I love it. On the other side of something that was annihilated, something that was destroyed, you find true loyalty. This is good, okay? Yeah, and it's a brand new beginning for you. I mean, I feel like you're really going to be celebrating here. There's judgment in your favor. You got through some tricky situation. It might have involved a Scorpio, okay? Whatever this is, I do feel like it was an 8th house matter. So there's something that was a bit of a mystery. And I think you're solving this mystery here. And whatever you went through there that put you through a lot of trials, a lot of tests. I mean, something came to a brutal end. You were going through some mean and heavy stuff. You were definitely in that Pluto territory. But you got caught by the tail here. And it's leading to judgment in your favor. Something difficult's been cleansed away. And now it's like you're getting to lead a brand new charge here. You might even be partying a little bit, okay? You might be planning some kind of trip, going somewhere, having some fun, celebrating. Might be going to New Orleans to kick up your heels a little bit, enjoy some good Cajun food, you know? Going and listening to some good jazz, some good blues, you know? Having yourself a time, going on some tours of the swamp, I don't know. I just see that it looks like you're leading the charge this year and your fortunes are on the rise, but it has everything to do with you dealing with subconscious stuff that you weren't willing to look at before, exposing what's been going on, you know, exposing what's been hidden, calling stuff out. Also, allowing yourself to come out of the shadows, allowing yourself to be seen, allowing yourself to lead the charge, sharing your message, you know, putting yourself out there. Something's just beginning here, but it's totally made possible by what was released, what was cleansed that was holding you back in the past. So I feel like your good fortune is coming through the things that came to an end. So you don't need to begrudge that at all because it's making something possible for you here that you're really going to be celebrating. And it does feel like there is some kind of like event, some kind of celebration. It could be the opening of something or some event you're attending. It's got like a party atmosphere, and I think there's something you're going to feel really good about, because it's more than just like this moment of material success. It's also a moment of really overcoming some stuff that held you back for a long time, and recognizing we're finally done with that. Like something's been transformed here. It's a good energy. I like it. I like it. I dig it. All right. Let's get some spiritual guidance coming in here for you. So we've covered a lot of territory here. So I think we're going to pull out the angels and imps for you for spiritual guidance here, because we had some spicy elements come up in your read. So let's look at all of it. Let's look at shadow and light. Looks like a big year of, you know, taking up space, taking up the space that you want to fill. Maybe you were giving too much of that time and energy to others, and now you want to pour a little bit of that into yourself. And I think that's good. I think that'll work out in your favor. It's just about getting your head in the game and cutting off stuff that's been festering for way too long, understanding the part you play in that, and continue, you know, working on what you're developing here, and play it close to the chest, because I do feel like you have people that are kind of like wearing masks around you, or putting on false fronts, or maybe even, like I was saying, catfish, people you're communicating with online, who are trying to get friendly enough with you where they can figure out what you're up to here, but you don't really know what team they're working for. And they can just be competitors, you know, people who want to know what you're up to here so they can beat you to the punch. And so be aware of this. Be aware of who you partner with on things. It does look like there's somebody that you had a falling out with in the past that you will be getting to the other side of the challenges with that person. But it looks like it's really through a transformation in the approach to resolving issues. Rebuilding friendship first, especially if this is any kind of love relationship where there's been arguments. You know, you might want to focus more on the strength of the friendship. And maybe that's not how you would normally approach it, but it's actually something that's very beneficial. Maybe it shows you and the other something about the connection that you didn't see before. And it might also be because you're meant to partner with this person on something, on a creative level, on a business level. And maybe if you took it to the level of, you know, rekindling a flame, that could be very problematic. It could make something not possible. It could all go to shit, you know, and maybe that's something that you don't recognize right now because you never thought of this connection through that kind of lens. All right. There's something about a connection really surprising you, and a healing coming through in an unexpected way. Because I do see there is some partnership here. And will that come together romantically down the road? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's your main focus, honestly. For 2026, it feels like you're more focusing on what you want to create for yourself. And I think that's really healthy, okay? It's really healthy here, okay? Spiritual guidance for you. Yeah, 5 of Wands, okay? So you are heading into very ambitious territory here. And there are certain politics that come with that in the direction you are moving in. And I do feel like there are factions that have been problematic in terms of certain objectives that you have in mind. Things that have been holding you back, causing problems. But I do feel like you're going to get your head in the game here. And as long as you really get yourself focused here and stop distracting yourself with that nonsense, you're going to find that your judgment is like on lock. And then you're going to make some executive decisions here that are going to cut off what's been getting in the way of you achieving your objectives. And I think what's most important here is there's more truth to uncover. I feel like you've already arrived at certain core truths, but there's also something still here to be revealed. So be open enough to be receptive to having your mind blown with the Tower here, okay? Because there is something that still needs to be seen about somebody around you, somebody you're connected to. It could be somebody you're dealing with online, like some catfish energy that's a promoter of discord, war, arguments, and falsehoods. And when you call this person out, they're going to make a lot of excuses. They're going to be very long-winded in their justifications, but you already have the receipts, and it has everything to do with your work. So there could be somebody that you were partnering with before who was, you know, doing something unethical here. And there's certain intellectual property that's yours. That story piece came in, right? So this could even be like you had a whole story that you've been working on. You've been working on writing a book, or you've been working on writing a screenplay. And somebody here has been trying to steal your idea. They've been trying to steal your creation and put their own spin on it. And there's something here, though, about you have the intellectual talent here. All right? So you cannot give away something that is like your brainchild, okay? I think that's why this is sort of highlighting you've already been taken advantage of before. I do have the impression that there's people around you that would like to just like eat off of what you create here. Oh yeah, here comes Apophis trying to steal the sun, trying to steal your success. This is interesting. We got a little clove here that found its way over here. So yeah, there's something that does need to be purified here. You might be surprised who's been trying to get in the way between you having success here. And is it worth it to call this person out? I don't know. Because I feel like if you called this person out, they would never admit it. You know, they're going to give you all kinds of generous responses for why the project they're working on is very interestingly the thing that you've been working on for how long now that you told this person about. Maybe you were interested in working on this with this person, and then it's like, wait a minute. That bears a striking resemblance to my idea, okay? So just really coming through this piece about protecting your ideas, protecting your inspirations here. Because you're the one who has the knowledge of what's going to really make this successful. And I think this is also something that you need to remember, though you may be surprised about who's been kind of in competition with you here. What you need to remember is that somebody can try to run with your idea, but they don't have your inspiration. So it's not going to be what it would be with you breathing life into it. And yet there is this piece about you need to get to work on this. Don't just like let it sit there. You got to start putting your energy into this. It's time to get to work on this idea, because there are energies here that are already gathering to create some blockage for you. And this has been going on for a while. And somebody is, you know, they are a fierce competitor. This person's smart. They're not stupid. They ain't no dummy. And they're very bold. And they're willing to take risks. So, you know, you do have to be aware that you can't just sit on this. You can't just sit on this. That guidance is coming through very strongly. Yep. See, because somebody would love to just take your idea and run with it. That's the truth with the Ace of Swords. And you're going to figure out who this character is. And you need to leave this person behind. They're coming in with the Page of Pentacles here. Right? You're going to learn about who this character is. Who's been holding you back. Right? And it's coming in with that Taurus energy. So this is a second house matter. This has something to do with what you've developed, you've poured your energy into, you've invested all of your inspiration into, you've been building this. It's something that you have been creating here. You know, it's a path you've created for yourself. It has everything to do with your work, your finances, and there's somebody here that wants to learn what you're up to so they can run with it, and they can beat you out, and they can pawn it off as their own. So you need to be very careful about who you're sharing your ideas with, okay? Because this is somebody familiar to you. It is. It's somebody familiar to you. It's somebody you normally would never expect to do this. You got to be aware, okay? Because there is somebody that, you know, that they're tempted, and they might, you know, try to put a spin on it where it's like, well, I was inspired by your idea, but it's different because of this. But it's like, no, really, like the core of what this individual is doing, it's yours. It's your intellectual property. So there's something about get to work on this. You've been letting something sit too long. You already got the inspiration. It's time to really take action. That's the spiritual guidance coming through. You've pondered something long enough. You just need to get started with it, okay? It'll build a momentum all its own. And I do think that when you find out this truth about who has been kind of pilfering off of your ideas here, you need to make sure you cut this person off. Okay? They can't come along for the ride. You can't trust people like that. You can't trust people like that, all right? But I do feel like cutting this person off, you know, allows a new opportunity to come in for you. And I like this, flipping up in the middle of the deck, it brings about some kind of justice, renewal energy for you. Libra energy here. The bat medicine coming in, that's definitely like good luck too, okay? Good luck and making it through some kind of challenge, getting to the other side of it, seeing through some kind of illusion, right? In relation to what was causing obstacles with your work. Got Virgo energy coming in here. All right, you may even hear from a friend, okay? Somebody you've worked with before that's letting you know what's been going on here. They feel like you deserve to know about some kind of interference in relation to what you've been trying to grow here, develop here. Could have a friend approaching you, telling you about something somebody's been up to. They feel like this person really disrespected you in some way, and they want to rectify that, okay? Could be a Virgo that's approaching you, letting you know about this. Yeah. Around something that was creating financial loss for you, was causing you setbacks, was holding you back from moving you forward. Okay, horse energy coming in there, Sagittarian energy coming in, right? Yeah, but I feel like if somebody tried to do this, they tried to, you know, sabotage you in this way. It was sort of like finished before it even started. That's what it looks like. Right, but do look for some exposure around something that I think you will take it kind of hard, right? But it's sort of like the spiritual guidance is move better next time. Like, it's unfortunate, but I feel like you are heading into a very competitive arena here. So you need to be mindful of who you're partnering with, because not everybody has your best interests at heart here, all right? But there is something that's turned around here. You may have experienced some kind of theft of your ideas, or somebody could have been even stealing from you financially, somebody you were in a business partnership with, or was somehow taking advantage of you in some way. Whatever this is, though, you're discovering this, and you're recognizing like, oh, okay, you're not who I thought you were, All right. It is showing it's in your best interest, though. I feel like this is going to align you with the right people, like whoever you're releasing here or whoever you already released. It was a good judgment call. And you're going to get a confirmation of that. Okay. Cut of the deck here. It just looks like you need to get to work, man. Yeah, there's been some loss here and you're still navigating it. Got 5 of Pentacles here, okay? You need to have patience here. The secrets will be revealed in time. And where you feel like your work isn't picking up any traction or you feel like you could be doing better, you could have more momentum, just give it time. Like your work is going to become more known. There's more exposure coming in here. And it does look good, okay? You will see progress in your industry, right? It's just going to take a little time. But we see it does come in here. The 8 of Wands, I think, again, it comes in August. It looks really good. And you're going to come into alignment with the right people. You're going to be making some new friends. These are people that you can count on. But there is this piece here about somebody in this situation you can't trust, okay? And there's somebody who presents as a friend, but they're bent on sabotage here, and it's really like they want to act on your ideas. So I would be leery of anybody wanting too many details about anything you're developing that you already have your hackles up around, because if you let them in and you go against your better judgment, you will regret it, okay? That's how it's coming through. But all in all, it looks like a really good, solid year for you. Looks like a lot of good stuff once you come to a realization of how you've been holding yourself back, being distracted with some nonsense. So let's just cap this off, getting some numbers and some messages for you with the letter dice, or what I call the Arisian Spirit Board action. Well, let's get some numbers first for Aries in 2026. Okay, we got life path 6, life path 5, life path 3, life path 8, life path 11, also 11 master builder number, some kind of balance, some kind of justice coming in. And on the other side of that 11, we got double 4s here, okay, is significant. So some kind of balance, some kind of justice here, some kind of alignment coming in too. Makes me think of that like 4 of Wands energy doubled. So this is like some partnership coming in that it's a good match and there's like a successful moment for both of you. It's got like vibes of some kind of event going down, maybe happening in August. So just reiterating that again, okay? And then we got, life path 5 factoring pretty strongly. We got life path 9 coming in here as well, all right? And as far as months of importance, I feel like right now, January is an important month for getting your focus. Like get your single point of focus really dialed in and then put that in motion. And you'll really be working with that through March. Then in March, there's some kind of important communication comes in, or there's something you're presenting here, perhaps in a communications field, okay, in March. There's sort of like you're taking an action and then you're like kind of panning back and seeing what develops there. And I do feel like there's something that manifests that lets you know, yeah, more of that. Stay on that track, and that comes through in May, okay? And it's what builds into the success that you see in August, all right? In fact, I feel May, June, you're really working on this, and there's something that it looks like it really strongly comes through communication. So there's something here that you're sharing. It's moving you out of sort of a holding pattern, and it's allowing you to advance, okay? So this can even be bringing in like some kind of adjunct to your work that you never used before, and it might involve something that streamlines communications, okay? And this is the key, because not all of you are going to work in the field of communication, so where, you know, you're doing work online, but it might just be like streamlining communications or something along the lines here, really like ironing out a contract, making sure that everything's communicated clearly, everything's outlined, you're checking over everything before signing on the dotted line. Either way, it looks like really big success comes in with that in August, okay? Signs that you could be dealing with of importance. I mean, with the first house, your energy is coming through very strongly. We have Cancerian energy here. We also have Libra, Scorpio, Taurus energy, Gemini energy coming through pretty strongly, Sagittarian energy, Capricorn energy. All right. That's what I see in terms of that action. And let me get some letters out here on the board, see what other kinds of signposts and synchronicities want to come through for you, Aries, 2026. Okay. I see California coming in here. So there could be something of significance in relation to California. And I got DAP coming in there with that, you know, like, I don't know. So there could be like some kind of deal that you're making in California. Could be congratulatory energy coming through in relation to that too. And I got New York coming in with that as well, okay? So let's see what else we got coming in here. All right. There may be something around your house coming in here. You could be moving. You could be making improvements in the home. Things could be improving at home. You may be going back to visit back home, somewhere you haven't been in a while. That's possible. There could be a best friend connected to this, okay? So you might be connecting with a friend you haven't seen in a while, like going back to where you grew up and connecting with your best friend, or taking a trip to connect with a best friend, somebody you haven't seen in a long time. Feels like somebody who reminds you of home, okay? I got Hawaii in connection to that too. I also got Louisiana. I mean, New Orleans came in, so this could be like a trip to New Orleans. You haven't seen somebody in a long time. They're a total knockout now. That's what I got. Got KO coming in relation to that. Just one look, that's all it took, and you're a total goner. That's okay. Yeah, I feel like somebody has been out of your life for a while. There's something interesting coming in here. I got Winehouse, as in Amy Winehouse, coming through. So they tried to make me go to rehab, and I said no, no, no. Okay, there could be a connection there. Ooh, if you were in any kind of battle in relation to a house, okay, in terms of some kind of financial or legal battle or something like that, I do see you being successful. I do see you winning, okay, wherever there's been an issue there. You could be having some kind of big win. You take the house. I mean, some of you could be gambling. Some of you like to gamble. And something's paying off, maybe on a trip. You might be playing the slots. Do we have it out here? We do. We have Vegas here, okay? So somebody could be going to Vegas, doing a little gambling. They win big. They take the house. Okay, interesting. Okay. I got table for one here, okay? Table for one. And maybe while you're out on your own somewhere, you end up making a contact you're not expecting. Maybe somebody joins you. You're not dining alone anymore. In relation to that, if you're out and about and you're dining by yourself and somebody asks to join you, you might want to be a little leery of this character because they're coming in as a con, right? So I'd be careful. Especially if you're meeting people when you're out and about, be aware of just, people tampering with your food, people tampering with your drinks. I got Georgia in connection to that. I got South Beach. This could even be, going out to sushi with someone because I got eel here. It makes me think of unagi, all right? Just be aware, somebody's a con artist. That's what I got. Be careful of this character. They're a con artist. Can't trust this person, whoever they are. They're a louse. Whoa. Yeah. And they might be just as problematic as a louse too. You let this person in and then the next thing you know, you're infested. You're just infested with more of this sort of irritating, annoying energy that you've been combating for a while now. Be aware of this. Yeah. Somebody's not who they present themselves to be. Where you have, suspicions, dig deeper. I got the name Dean coming in relation to that. Somebody could also be the dean at a school. Okay. Something about human relations too. Like be careful about mingling with people that you work with that, have positions where it could land you in hot water. Whoever this character is, they're full of BS, man. Somebody's trying to work you here that you do need to be aware of. I got Colorado coming in connection with that. This person's into some freaky stuff, man. If you knew what they did behind the scene, you would run, man. That's all I know. Just be careful of who you're mingling with here. Blockage. Got the number 5 around that. So that could be a clue. 5. 5 guys. I got the name Dan. In all iterations of that, Daniel, Danielle, Danny. Life path 5 could be factoring in strongly here. Let me get some more names, people of significance. Right? When I bring in the names, these can be your names. These can be names of people involved in this situation. The names come in to say, pay attention, okay? Pay attention. There's something you need to pay attention to here. I got kin, okay? So this could be somebody in your family, or you consider family, that you need to be aware of. Whoever this person is, I feel like they're going to come at you with some BS. They're going to be a hard sell, okay? Don't buy what they're selling. Don't buy what they're selling. You'll regret it. You got, you know, there's like this energy of payback coming in here. I feel like something is due you. And I do feel like this is the year of, is it a year? It is the big payback, okay? James Brown song. James could be a clue. James could be a first name. It could be a last name. Brown could be a last name, okay? This can all be connecting points here that you need to be aware of. Or it could be your name and you need to pay attention. All right, let me get some more names out here. I got Vi, Vivian, I got Selena, Salima, Salome, Gina, Gino, came in the other day. I got Chuck, Nadine, Adina, Sasha, Gia. Got some models' names coming out. So I don't know if there's somebody who does modeling. Somebody's trying to break into that industry. If you go to industry parties, you know, make sure that you're mindful of, you know, who you're partying with and getting yourself in tricky situations. Yeah, because you could end up, you know, with an RN at your buy side. At your buy side? At your buy side? Somebody could be bi. That's an interesting message. This could be somebody who's an RN. They're a friend. Same sex as you. And you don't know that they swing that way. And they might take advantage of you. You could end up in the hospital. Somebody, you know, does something to your drink. Just be aware. That's weird how that came through. I meant to say by your bedside, but I think it's more an energy that's trying to get you in bed. You have a friend who, you know, is attracted to you. And whoever this person is, they're a con. Like, they wouldn't be beyond, like, you know, lacing or something to put you in a compromised position. So just be aware. I got the name Vic coming in with that. Vic, Vicky, Victoria. Victoria, British Columbia. Yeah, and with that I got SA, okay? So be careful, man. There's somebody here you cannot trust. And I see he here. So this is like somebody like, I don't know why. I got like sushi vibes. Like somebody wants to go out for sushi with you. You just be careful. Don't leave your drinks unattended. And I got Sin City coming in relation to that. Okay, Sin. This person is not a good person. Okay, they're just not. They're not. And it has everything to do with like somebody you're dining with. All right, so this one's come through really strongly. And I got food coming in here too. So just be aware of who you're breaking bread with here. Because there's something you need to be aware of. This person could drive a van. Right? Got the name Evan coming in relation to this. That's weird. I see Foo Foo Ha, and that's the name of like a clowning group. I don't know, somebody could be a clown. Yeah, that's weird for Foo Foo Ha to come out like that. I don't know, there could be a connection. They're out of the Bay Area, right? Yeah, be careful, okay? All I know is this is the year that you get paid, but only if you roll the dice, you take a risk on those ideas that you have. So just do it. Put it in motion. Do be aware of protecting what's yours, though, because you do got spies, all right? There are people with their eyes on you, and they're hoping to cut off what you want to grow here. And those of you who own homes and you have to deal with a homeowners association, this could be your neighbor. All right. More blocking energy around that. So we're going to go ahead and cut this short. It's not really short though. It's long. 2 hours, 15 minutes, 52 seconds in. I think we've covered enough. But I see Houdini here too. So now you see it, now you don't. It's time to pull off your greatest magic trick yet, Aries. All right, Godspeed.